As you prepare to complete the first assignment in this course, I thought I'd take a moment to give you some things to think about in light of students' previous performances. Here are a few things to help you consider as you write your annotation for M1A1. This video will focus upon 3 areas of the assignment. We'll look into aspects or facets of qualitative methods, data, and analysis. We'll take a close look at the assignment and the rubric, and we'll discuss some tips for writing an annotation. I think that a fundamental point often missed by students new to research is that qualitative is not a method. It is a category of methods. The same is true of quantitative research. An independent t-test is a method. A regression is a method. A correlation study is a method. But quantitative methods is a category. In this case, qualitative methods should be understood as a category as well. A researcher may choose to do a case study or employ an ethnographic method or action research. When you describe the methods being used in a qualitative study, be sure to find the actual methodology employed. A student could be forgiven for believing that all qualitative research is about text. We discuss text more than any other kind of data. But there are many forms of text, and there are other kinds of data available as well. When you analyze a source, identify what kind of text they collected. Did they interview subjects? Were the interview protocols structured or semi-structured, or were they unstructured? Did they observe behaviors or images or documents? In the same way, see if you can identify any specifics regarding the coding procedures being employed in the research. Did the researchers use in vivo coding or emergent theme coding, or did they have a predefined set of codes provided by a theoretical framework? In some instances, researchers will describe several passes of coding or means of justifying their codes through peer checking or member checking. Read the source carefully and describe the specific method of analysis the researchers used. You may discover that terms are being used that we haven't discussed yet in class, so you may not fully understand the description of these analyses. If the authors describe something that you've not seen yet, consider looking it up in your Saldana and Omasta text. When you look at the assignment, be sure to read all of it carefully. For this assignment, you're required to annotate 3 qualitative sources. Part 1 of this assignment is to write the annotations. But in the past, I've seen many students fail to attend to the second part of this assignment. You also need to write between 2 and 4 paragraphs discussing the articles together. I think the best advice I can give for this or any other course is to ensure that you are looking carefully at the rubrics. These are guides by which you are graded. Exceptional students always shoot for the exceptional category, but it is also a great idea to know about the other categories. In this instance, notice the way that the lowest score on referencing module readings mentions outside sources. Those words are not actually used in the exceptional category, though they are implied by the phrase other text and other journal articles. Lastly, I want to talk a little bit about the annotations themselves. I've created a video that you may find useful, and you can check it out from this URL or find the link in my announcement. First, and this is very important, if you're going to use more than 7 consecutive words from your source, be especially careful to use quotation marks. This is always important in terms of avoiding plagiarism, but in the case of annotations, it's doubly important. If you fail to attribute a quotation in your annotation to the author's own language, you may assume in referring to your annotation that these were your own words. In my experience, one of the primary ways that students accidentally plagiarize is that they had a quote in an annotation or in a note somewhere that didn't have quotation marks on it. This is a vital practice to get right now, not in the future. Your annotation should be specific to the source you're annotating. Broad statements are rarely useful in these cases. Be sure that you're referencing things that are specific to your source in your annotation, and avoid having overly general phrases or sentences that are only tangentially related to your source. If something is not explicitly related to your source, it's likely a good idea to leave it out of your annotation. Lastly, I recommend that you get comfortable with very wooden sentences or paragraphs. An annotation is not poetry. This is not about writing good literature. You may find that your best annotations are not pleasurable to read per se, but rather are useful for extracting information and recalling salient information from the source. Good luck as you engage this exercise, and please let me know if I can provide you with any assistance or support in this or any other assignment in the course.